Okay, here we go. We have the Garmin 42LM. LM standing for Lifetime Maps. So you get free lifetime map upgrades. Here we are. It's mounted currently on the Garmin Turtle. It's really freaking heavy. And it's not going anywhere. So long story short, here we are. Basically, to turn this on, you're going to just press this button up here. See, right there. You're going to press and hold that until the little Garmin signal comes up. You'll get this whole Garmin while it warms up. It tells you what the dates and the informations are. And any second now, we should probably get the good old lawyerese crap. So just agree to the lawyerese. Now, on this, you have your satellite signal reception. In here, we have very good satellite reception. This is your time of the day. This is the amount of battery left remaining in the self-storage non-powered mode. So you have approximately 2 hours per the manual. Here you have a little question mark. If you have any questions on anything at all, just press the little question mark. And it'll send you to what the settings are. It gives you all this stuff. So you can also press up and down if you don't want to scroll, because I've noticed that this is actually a pretty sensitive thing. So you can go back and you can hit back. You can always hit back. Now, settings is a good thing to know, because if you ever want to set anything, this is where you get all your stuff if you want to change any settings up. The system, go ahead and hit the system. The GPS simulator basically will give you an estimate of where you are if you don't have a satellite signal. So here it's off, because we always have satellites, but if you're indoors or whatnot, it can give an estimation. You can always turn it on or turn it off. So I keep it off. Miles, simple. Miles are kilometers. QWERTY is the type of keyboard you're going to use, which is, we usually use the, that type. The safe mode stands for basically when you're driving, whether or not you want to turn it on or off. Safe mode off allows you to make changes while you're actually driving. Safe mode on, it'll, won't let you make changes while you're driving. So, anyway, if you have any questions about it, you can always hit the little question mark up here. And I'll tell you what the things are. CPM, blah, 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 blah. So, come on, back we go. And it go again. And, I should probably just say restore. Restore will put all these settings. If you change anything, it'll restore it back to its default mode. That happens with everything. Navigation will tell you how to change your route preferences. If you want to go faster, you want to go shorter, you want to take off-road, blah, blah, blah. So, we're going to go the fastest time. Avoidances allows you with U-turns. If you want to avoid U-turns, making U-turns, you want to avoid going to highways or tail roads, carpool lanes, unpaved roads, so on and so forth. So, once again, everything is touch, and, we'll just do U-turns because it'll allow you to do a U-turn if you need to. And, okay, and restore once again. We'll preference everything, go back to normal. Time, same thing, kind of format, whether or not you want to do that. So, and this is your current time. So, and then the languages, basically for us, I found, at least here in American, this here, I've tried a couple downloads before, and they're really confusing. I don't like the way that they do it, because they kind of freak you out with things that don't exactly work right. So this, Michelle, she just basically tells you to turn left, turn right. American Samantha will basically speak the name. It says it right there. It says speak street names, which in some cases, if you're not familiar with an area, is very good. As you can see, you got Spanish, you got French, Portuguese, Churn, and you can just keep going down this whole list of all these different types of languages that are available. For this use, we're going to keep American Samantha, because she speaks the name, and that's going to be the easiest to follow, because it'll tell you what road you're going to actually turn on to. So, come on, get back there. So, and then same thing here. Text is, type of language it's going to tell you. You have all these different names. Every type of frickin' language you could possibly think of in this country, probably. And if you need more, you can always go back to, either restore or download more on the website. So, the display, when you hit here, the color mode, this will tell you the daytime and nighttime, auto. Basically, daytime is what we have. You'll see it later on in a second. Nighttime turns the things black and the roads turn, so it's more easy to navigate during the night. Automatic it has a photo sensor, so it'll tell you whether, if there's enough data to put it in the day mode or the night mode. So we'll keep it on auto. The screenshots, I have no idea what the hell that means. I'm sure I could look at that, but I'm not going to look at the question mark right now. The maps. It gives you what kind of map detail you want. I keep it on normal because it's just essentially, doesn't give you too much detail because it's going to take longer to regenerate. If you do more, it gives you really a lot of information. Less, it's basically just, there you go, it's a road, maybe most of the main roads. So I just keep it on normal, gives you a couple extra things of that nature. The map views give you 3D. As you can see right now, it looks like it's a 3D version. North up, the north, it'll show always which direction is north. Map track up shows you which direction you're actually tracking in. So I find it probably best to be in 3D mode because that's essentially the way you're going to be driving. So, and trip log is such a pain in the ass. It basically shows where you've been, every single place you've been, and all that other stuff. I'm keeping it on hide because I don't want to see cookie trails of where I've been, how I've been, every single situation. It's the most disgusting thing in the world. By looking at it, you can see just here briefly, you can see the little cyan line, what it looks like. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can always have this option here, plus and minus here, of zooming in and zooming out. So you can see all the cookie modes that I've been in, where I've been, and location. It's I don't particularly care for it. I wish there was a way to clear it, but there isn't. So, come on, get back in there. Anyway, so long story short, that's what the whole that's the whole thing is. So we hide trip logs, unless you want to see a whole bunch of scribbles on your maps. And there's more stuff. You can change the vehicle types. I've seen a couple other ones. I don't particularly care for them. You can get different types of vehicles, like there's a truck or high wheeler. There's an arrow. I don't know what the hell those are. Sandals, something like that. But regardless, you can go ahead and change it. You can change it to a beach ball. I'm just going to leave it as a regular car. If you want, you can download more stuff. And let's see what else is on this. Map data layout. I don't know exactly what that is, to be honest with you. There's more data, standard data. If you need to find out, you can go ahead and click the question mark, and it'll tell you what all this stuff is. Map view detail, the vehicle types. So if you ever get confused, just hit the back arrow. You're good to go. I've noticed that this is a very touchy situation sometimes on the screen. Can be very touchy, especially when you're here. This volume, basically exactly what it is. You'll hear in a second. I'll go all the way up. You'll hear how loud it gets, and then how quiet. So it depends on how much you want the voicemail. I found driving, at least for me right now, I don't really necessarily have the windows open. The music's on normal, so we'll keep it at 80%. This also allows you to mute it. Come on. Now, if you want to, you can also mute it by going ahead and pressing very quickly and holding that down. This actually is the, it's not the, this is the screen side, the screen brightness. As you can see, it gets lighter and brighter. And I found that 60% at the point, and you can go ahead and power off. That'll be the one way to do it. If you want, you can always just click back on and get back to normal. You can just let it be, or you can push the button there. If you want to just view the map as to where you are and what you're doing, you can go ahead and it says ready to navigate. This is where we're at, essentially located. On here you can always minus, which will get you further out, show you more of a thing, or you can hit plus and you'll get a lot closer in. The other thing I noticed on this is that not only will it do that, but if you just hit the map, it'll give you a flat overview of where you are essentially. Okay, so you got that going on. You can once again plus and minus where you want to go, where you're at, location generally. You can also go ahead and just push that. It'll say, oh, okay, there that is on the map. You want to go there, go ahead and go, and it'll automatically give you directions on how to get to that point. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here in the little time area, you can change the direction of travel, which is the direction you're going to traveling in at the current location or current time. See, now it changed to south driving. I'm driving north right now, it says. And even though I'm sitting on my back porch, I don't have, I guess, that great of a thing, and it's telling me that I'm doing 2 to 5, well, maybe a little bit lower. Right now it clicked up. So we're good. But I like to also, and this can give you the elevation, tells you how high above sea level you are, roughly. I think the time of day is the best, so you can see what time it is. Because up here it just completely blows things out of the water when it's navigating. So we got that, and then speed. When you press on that little button, regardless if you're sitting still or driving, it'll give you basically your whole data of everything that's going on. How far you've driven, what your bearings are, what the elevation is, your maximum amount of speed, your time that you've been moving, the time that you've averaged, the time that you've been sitting still, you know, your overall average of miles per hour, the overall time. You know, you can reset this, and you can just, you know, reset all the trip data. You can reset max speed. So we'll just reset the trip data. We can reset both, and as you'll notice, boom, everything just resets to 0. So, and once again, you can just swipe up and down with your fingers to find out where you're at, how you're going. And that's that case. So now we want to actually go back and we want to go and navigate where we're going to go somewhere. So we're going to hit where to. So you click on where to. Now you've got a bunch of different things to do here. I've noticed, like I said, once again, the screen is pretty touch sensitive. It gives you a bunch of things. I would say here your addresses you can go ahead and type in. It already, for us, you know, it kind of generally locates where you're at. So I'm already in the state of New York, so I don't have to put that in. I can spell the city I want to go to. So let's try, come on. For some reason that one's always a little touchy. And as you notice, as I start a couple letters, it'll automatically pick up on towns I want to go to. So we'll go somewhere in Nanuet. How's that sound? And now it's going to ask me what number I want to go to. I'm going to go to 123 Main Street. So I hit 123 and I hit done. If you ever have a question or you misput the number in, you can always hit the back arrow. Or if you go 1255 and you accidentally need to actually put in another one, you notice how the cursor moves back, you can put another 5 in. So, but right now I'm going to clear this whole thing. So, come on. I guess I got to hit this little bad boy here. And you just backspace everything. So I'm going to go to like 123 and hit done because that's where it's going to go. Enter the street. We'll go to Main Street. How's that sound? And you'll notice that as soon as I get ready and close, it'll pull something up. Main Street. Cool. Now it's going to search for the results of 123 Main Street. Hey, Phil. And I get all these different places on Main Street that deal with those numbers. And you'll notice I can go up and down as to where I want to find it, whether it be North or South Main Street, and so on and so forth. You can either scroll it up that way, or you can use the arrow buttons up and down. So let's just go to 103 Main. Now it'll give you where the location is. Say 102, it says 103, and you can say go, and now it'll actually say where you are, and it'll tell you how to drive there.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And as you can see, I've got a little purple ring here. Whoops. If you want, you can touch the big screen and it'll show you where you are and location of that. And you can go ahead and scroll along and you can see your purple route will tell you how to get to this place. And the little thing is a flag mark where you're going to end up. And if you want to get back to navigating, there you go. So you just follow your highlighted route, and like I said, if you want to get closer, you can get closer. If you want to get further away, you can get further away. This will really bring you in close, so if you get into the cities, I guess, you know, you can see how close you are to the roads that you need to be. I'm finding out, come on. I find that where I'm at, I guess about here is good. You can go ahead and change it. It just depends on how much detail. Now here you also have your arrival time as to how long it's going to take you to get to where you are compared to what time it is now. And of course here's your speed. Once again, you can always hit this and it'll tell you, well, that's the main. Sorry, I must have accidentally missed it. This will give you all the information where you're going. So you're going to go 1.7 miles. You know, you're going to make your first turn in 500 feet. And you know, your max, this is all the stuff, but you don't need to know this. This is just average crap that we don't need to know. You know, you can always see how far you've gone, and it's basically just your stuff. Now, here you go back. I'm not driving, so it's kind of hard to show the split times. This will tell you the time arrived, the distance that you're going to go, and see you're going to arrive in 1.8 miles. And we'll just leave the arrival time up because that's how long it's going to take you to get there. You give you just to get general information as to when you're going to get to where you need to be if somebody actually calls you. So if you ever are in the midst of doing your driving and you want to stop driving where you're going, you can either hit stop, or if, say for instance, there's a backup, an accident, or whatever, you need to relocate, you know, get a drive around, you can always hit detour. It'll recalculate a route to that place, and you'll see
drive to highlighted route
that it will take you in a different direction. Before, last time it had me going in a different direction. See, instead before it had me going this way, now it has me going all the way up here and then coming back down. So long story short is that's the case of how to do it. And like I said, it's kind of touch sensitive, so it might hit something, but don't worry about that. Just keep hitting the back routes. So once again, where was I? Cancel this. That's cancel. Sorry. What the hell's going on here? Oh yeah. Now, if you want to if you're going somewhere, you get there, or all of a sudden you need to make a detour, or you just don't want to go that place anymore, you just hit stop, and bada bing, now you're done. See, you'll just get, that's your volume, sorry. Now you'll just notice on your map, there won't be any guidance at all. You're just going to be driving wherever you want to go. It'll be ready to navigate where you want to go. And that's essentially it. Come on. Now, if you do want to just kind of pick where you're at, you can always click on the screen. And you say, okay, I feel like going over here. You get the general idea. It'll tell you whereabouts you're going to go, and you can hit go, and it'll calculate how to get to that particular point wherever you pointed on the map.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And it'll tell you how to get there. Alright, we don't want to do that, so we're going to stop. Now, on the where to, you can also do a whole bunch of things. It gives you a couple things. Near will give you a whole bunch of places, things like where I am now, a different city, a recent destination, favorite destination. So, I don't really necessarily need any of this stuff. You might, if you want to play where you're at now, if you want to go to where you're around, or you want to see where you're at, go ahead and do that. Addresses, once again, this will be the whole thing of, you know, enter a postal code and zip codes. This will change the state if you want to go to a different state. You know, go ahead and, what the hell's going on here? I don't know why. I haven't done much of this stuff. Here it is. Spelled right now. It's currently telling you that we're going to look in New York. You can change the province or the state you want to go to. So say we want to go to Connecticut, or let's try Florida in this case, or I don't know, South Carolina. How about that? There we go. South Carolina. It started the S. Go to South Carolina. Now it's going to start looking for a city in South Carolina. Let's go to Myrtle Beach. See, it says Myrtle Beach. Boom, you just start a couple. Now you start your house numbers. And then what street you want to go to. I know this is a long kind of version around it. So you hit Main Street, Maintenance Drive. I don't know, Main Street, let's try it. Now it's going to find all these search results for it, and that'll allow you to get there. So we'll just go to Main Street, Myrtle. And it'll tell us where it is, and we can hit go, and it'll take us there. Obviously, being that I'm coming from New York, it's going to take a long time to figure out how to calculate the route down there. One thing I noticed is that it does not account for traffic or construction. That's where you're going to probably find a good use for detours and whatnot. You can always go ahead and buy a really expensive component to this thing.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And it'll always tell you how to get there. I've not found yet where it tells you what the route is in this whole thing, so I can't tell you whether or not it's going to do that. I can just tell you that, it's going to tell you how to get this. How to get to where you want to go. And the more times you push out, you'll see how farther out. You'll see all your purple routes. So, stop. So, that's essentially, how it works with that. Tells you it's going to take you, God only knows how long. I don't even know what time it is now. It's probably around 6:30. It's going to tell you that it's going to take about 12 hours to get down there, almost 10 hours to get down to South Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, from where we're at the moment. So long story short, well, let's see. If you want to go back, if you ever get back to that screen, you want to go back to where you're driving, you can do that. Go ahead. This is where it is. It says you're going to arrive in 10 hours. It's 680 miles. And that's essentially what it is. So that's the low and short of it. If you want to go to where to also, you can hit home, which will give you a couple things. Enter address. Personally, I would not put your actual home address in there, just in case somebody does happen to get your GPS. They can just drive right to your house and then do whatever they want. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in today. You can hit recently found, and these are all the places that we've recently looked at, and you can see where we've gone, what's going down, and you can clear all these out just by saying clear the selected items. At the moment I'm going to say no, so you can see. Use my current address or my current location from where you're at, and that's that. If you have any favorites here, obviously they've thrown those in. I've got work. You can just do that stuff. That's going to take forever and find, but it'll tell you how to get to Garmin in USA, and you don't need to know where that is. So if you've got a place that you always go to that's a favorite place of yours, whether it be a restaurant or home or work or whatever it might be, you can just go to favorites and it'll automatically hit you there. Points of interest, simple, stupid. Spell the name. You want to go to food and drink or find gas, lodging, whatever it is. There's a whole bunch of things that allow you to run through. This will find your garage or your auto rentals. Community places, your hospitals that might be located close by. You can just hit that stuff, and if I want to go to Nyack Hospital, it'll tell me there, and I can hit go, and it'll automatically tell me how to get to Nyack Hospital from where I'm at.
Please drive to highlighted route.
So anyway, and it'll tell me what time I get there. Stop that stuff. But once again, there's a whole bunch of things. Intersections, don't be confused. You'll have to actually wrong one. you know. You will have to, let's go back to New York. You will have to, in the intersection points, you'll have to actually, where are we at? Are we there? Yeah, the intersections. You'll actually have to put the intersection down to where you're going to go. If I want to go to New York City, this is your space bar right there. This will change between numbers and all the good stuff that you might not want to see. New York City, sure. So now I tell the names, this is the street, I want to go to 42nd Street. 42nd, thank you very much. Now I got to put my second intersection in. Let's go to 7th Avenue. 7th Avenue. And that'll show me where the results are. 42nd and 7th. Fine. Now it'll tell me where 42nd and 7th is. And you can go or save. If you have a particular place you like to keep it as, or save. So, come on. And I guess you guys keep backing out of things every time you get there. So, because I haven't found a really quick way to get back to the main screen other than hitting the back button. You can always browse the map. You can go to cities. If you hit cities, it'll go ahead and it'll look for city around you. These are all the closest cities that are around my area, you know, that I can just go and hit to if I find something. So, but that's that. And extras, we don't have anything extra. Those need to be downloaded from Garmin itself. You can go ahead and browse the map. That's once again kind of what you do on the normal screen, where you can just hit a spot and be like, oh yeah, hey, let's go to Ridge Haven Park, and you can go and hit that. That's no need, and it'll give you automatic things, or you can save that. And if you actually have the actual GPS coordinates, you can type in what the coordinates are going to be. And if you knew like I said, if you knew the coordinates that you need to go to, then you can go there. Other than that, so let's see. You know, addresses, or recently found. If you go to several places, a lot of the times, you can continue to work. Go from wherever you've been to before, and you'll be all right. So that might be something quick if you want to go back and forth between a certain place many times. You can go there. And that's that. Okay. Stop. Like I said, it's a pretty touchy screen, and that's the long and short of it. The volume, I talked about the volumes. The brightness, you can go ahead and you can hit the brightness by hitting that real quick up top, and you can go ahead and power that down, bring it up. It's very bright, really bright, and I found, like I said, 60% seems to be pretty good. And if you ever want to just like when you get finished with this, I noticed that the power stays on if you don't completely shut down. So if you just hit that and you hit power off, you'll be good to go. If you just leave it alone, it'll come back normally fine and dandy. Other than that, that's really where I find it to be the simple and easy of it. I'd like to maybe show you in the next time what it looks like when you're actually driving, and how it split screens on you. When you drive, it'll tell you what lane you need to be in and where you want to go. Alright, so that's that. I will talk to you guys in the next segment. Goodbye.